Imagine walking into a brightly lit room, feeling confident that an incredible opportunity awaits you. You've prepared diligently, poured your heart and soul into this moment, and convinced yourself that this is your time. But just as you step forward, the door slams shut. Someone looks at you and says, "Sorry, but we've decided to go in a different direction." How does that feel? Disappointing? Frustrating? Maybe even a little crushing? That reaction is completely natural. But what if I told you that this rejection, this moment, that feels like a failure could actually be the best thing that ever happened to you? What if, instead of seeing it as an ending, you recognized it as a redirection toward something far greater? Think about Thomas Edison, who failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. Or Steve Jobs, who was fired from the very company he founded, only to return and revolutionize the tech industry. Even Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players of all time, was cut from his high school team. But did they give up? Not a chance. Instead, they used rejection as fuel to push themselves further than anyone ever imagined. Have you ever felt overlooked, undervalued, or denied the opportunities you know you deserve? It's time to change the narrative. In today's video, we'll uncover 10 powerful lessons that will help you transform rejection into your greatest advantage. These aren't just theories, they are practical strategies that you can start using right away to turn every no into a stepping stone, every setback into momentum, and most importantly, to become an unstoppable version of yourself. But before we dive in, take a second to help spread this message by liking this video and turning on notifications. Doing so not only helps this content reach more people, but it also serves as a personal reminder that your journey of transformation starts right now. So, are you ready to turn every rejection into a launch pad for success? Let's get started. 1. Let them go. Your value isn't measured by their attention. Imagine this. You've been there for someone, always supportive, always present. But when you need them, they're nowhere to be found. Maybe it's a friend who suddenly stopped responding to your messages, a colleague who overlooks your contributions, or someone you cared about deeply who acts as if you never mattered. The sting of being ignored, dismissed, or undervalued can feel personal, like a silent rejection of your worth. But here's the truth. Their inability to recognize your value does not diminish it. When someone chooses to overlook you, it's not a reflection of who you are, it's a reflection of their priorities, their blind spots, and sometimes their own insecurities. The best response? Let them go. This isn't about bitterness, revenge, or proving a point. It's about understanding that you don't need external validation to be whole. Ignoring those who ignore you isn't an act of pettiness. It's a powerful declaration of self-respect. If someone doesn't appreciate your time, your kindness, or your presence, then they are simply making room for those who will. How to walk away without resentment. Letting go doesn't mean carrying resentment or wishing them harm. It means redirecting your energy toward what truly matters: your growth, your happiness, and the people who genuinely value you. Shift your focus. Instead of dwelling on those who don't reciprocate your energy, pour yourself into your passions. Pick up a book that inspires you, start a new hobby, or challenge yourself with a new goal. The more you invest in your own development, the less their absence will matter. Practice emotional detachment. Understand that not everyone will see your worth, and that's okay. Detachment doesn't mean you don't care, it means you refuse to let someone else's lack of awareness dictate your happiness. Turn pain into power. Sometimes being ignored is the best thing that can happen to you. It forces you to look inward, build resilience, and learn that your value isn't dependent on someone else's recognition. Use that as motivation to become the best version of yourself. Your value is not up for debate. At the end of the day, you define your worth, not them. A diamond doesn't lose its value just because someone fails to recognize its brilliance. Likewise, your talents, kindness, and presence don't become less valuable just because someone fails to acknowledge them. So, when someone turns their back on you, don't shrink. Stand tall. Move forward. Keep shining. One day, they might realize what they lost, but by then, you'll be so far ahead that it won't even matter. 2. Mastering emotional control, the Stoic way to handle rejection. Picture this. You send a heartfelt message to someone, maybe a friend, a love interest, or a colleague. You wait, expecting a response, but silence is all you receive. Hours turn into days. The longer they ignore you, the more your emotions start bubbling up: frustration, sadness, maybe even anger. A part of you wants to demand an answer. Another part wants to withdraw completely, pretending you never cared in the first place. Sound familiar? That reaction is natural. When we feel rejected, our instincts tell us to act, whether that means lashing out, seeking validation, or retreating into self-doubt. But what if I told you that true power lies in not reacting at all? This is where Stoicism, the ancient philosophy of resilience and emotional mastery, comes in. The Stoics didn't believe in suppressing emotions. Instead, they taught the art of observing emotions without being ruled by them. Their wisdom is timeless. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. Often, it's not the rejection itself that hurts us, it's the story we tell ourselves about what it means. The power of the pause. The next time you feel the sting of rejection, instead of reacting impulsively, practice the power of the pause. Step back and observe before reacting. Ask yourself, why is this affecting me so much? Often, rejection touches on deeper insecurities. Are you seeking external validation? Do you tie your self-worth to others' approval? Identifying the real reason behind your emotions will help you regain control. Detach from the outcome. You can't control how others respond to you, but you can control your own narrative. If someone ignores you, it doesn't mean you're unworthy, it simply means they aren't the right fit for your life. Their actions say more about them than they do about you. Redirect your focus. Instead of overanalyzing the rejection, shift your attention to something productive. Read a book, go to the gym, start a creative project, do anything that reinforces your sense of purpose and self-worth. Practice Stoic reframing. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, taught that we have the power to reframe any situation. Instead of thinking, they ignored me, so I must not be important, reframe it as, their actions showed me where I stand, and now I'm free to focus on those who genuinely value me. Holding back an emotional reaction doesn't make you weak, it makes you incredibly powerful. It's easy to lash out or wallow in self-pity, but true strength lies in mastering your emotions. When you choose composure over chaos, grace over grudges, and self-respect over desperation, you show the world and yourself that you are in control of your life. So the next time someone rejects you, ignores you, or tries to make you feel small, don't give them the satisfaction of seeing you react. Stay calm. Stay focused. Keep moving forward. Because at the end of the day, rejection is just redirection. It's life's way of clearing the path for something better. 3. Erase them from your mind. The art of letting go to move forward. Imagine carrying a heavy backpack filled with thoughts about someone who rejected you. Every time you think about them, the backpack gets heavier. The more you cling to the past, the more exhausted you become. But what if you stopped, opened the backpack, and gently set down the burden? Letting go doesn't mean pretending that rejection didn't hurt. It means acknowledging your emotions without letting them control you. If someone walks out of your life, perhaps they were never meant to be part of your journey. Instead of asking, "Why didn't they appreciate me?" ask yourself, "Why am I giving so much energy to someone who no longer deserves it?" Every time your mind drifts back to old memories, do something new. Read a great book. Learn a skill you've been postponing. Travel to a place you've never been. By focusing on yourself, you're not just distracting yourself, you're opening a new chapter of your life. Remember, letting go is not a loss, it's a liberation. When you erase them from your mind, you make room for better things to come. 4. Prove your worth not to them, but to yourself. Rejection can feel like a punch to your self-esteem, but you have two choices. Let it break you, or use it as fuel to rise even stronger. Think about the most successful people in the world. J.K. Rowling was rejected by 12 publishers before Harry Potter became a global sensation, and Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. If they had let rejection define them, they would have never become legends. So, what will you do when you're underestimated? Complain or prove them wrong? If you're overlooked at work, strive to be the best in your field. If someone ignores you in a relationship, focus on improving yourself instead of chasing validation. Develop your skills, achieve milestones that make you proud. Let your success be your loudest response. Remember, your worth is not determined by how others see you, but by how you see yourself. Rejection doesn't mean you're not good enough, it simply means you're on your way to finding where you truly belong. 5. Cut off contact when silence becomes power. Have you ever found yourself checking your phone every few minutes, hoping for a message from someone who left you behind? Have you ever typed out a long message only to delete it, torn between holding on and keeping your dignity? The truth is, the more you cling to someone who doesn't appreciate you, the more you lose control over your own life. Silence isn't avoidance, it's a powerful statement that you refuse to let anyone else define your value. When you stop reaching out, you create the space needed to heal. You're no longer waiting for a message, an apology, or a second chance. You're no longer trapped in the cycle of expectation and disappointment. You reclaim your power. The key is this: don't cut off contact as a strategy to make them miss you. Cut them off to free yourself. Use this time to grow, to build a life you love so much that you no longer care who chooses to leave. And one day, when you look back, you'll realize that your silence wasn't a loss, it was your greatest victory. 6. Rise beyond limits, turning rejection into your greatest weapon. Rejection isn't just about proving others wrong. It's about proving to yourself what you're truly capable of. It's not about seeking validation from those who doubted you, but about using their doubt as fuel to unlock your full potential. Imagine someone underestimating your abilities, claiming you're not skilled enough for a certain task or goal. Instead of letting their words discourage you, let them ignite an unstoppable determination within you. Not to seek their approval, but to surpass your own expectations. Go all in, study, practice, and refine your craft until mastery becomes second nature. Push yourself past the limits you once thought were unbreakable. This journey isn't about a dramatic comeback or proving a point to the skeptics. It's about silently and powerfully building an unshakable foundation of skill, resilience, and self-belief. One day, you won't need to say, "Look at me now." Your results will speak so loudly that those who doubted you will have no choice but to take notice. But by then, You won't even care because you are never doing it for them in the first place. 7. Embrace joy, the ultimate power move. Rejection often makes people withdraw, replaying the disappointment in their minds over and over. But the real power move? Choosing joy despite it all. Picture this. You're at a party, feeling invisible. The people you hoped would acknowledge you barely notice your presence. You have two choices: sulk in the shadows, letting rejection define your night, or turn up the music in your soul and have the time of your life. Happiness isn't just about feeling good in the moment. It's a declaration of resilience. The best revenge against rejection isn't bitterness. It's thriving. Not because you need to prove anything, but because you deserve to enjoy life on your terms. Pick up that hobby you abandoned, book that spontaneous trip, dance in your living room for no reason. Every joyful moment you create is a reminder that your happiness was never meant to be dependent on someone else's approval. 8. Expand your horizon, step into the unknown. Rejection often feels like a door slammed shut, but what if it's actually a secret passage leading somewhere better? Think of the actors, artists, and entrepreneurs who faced countless rejections before making it big. The ones who got told, "You're not what we're looking for," only to carve out their own lane and redefine success. The lesson? Rejection isn't the end, it's a redirection. Instead of fixating on what didn't work out, start saying yes to new experiences. Explore new places. Take that solo trip you've been postponing. Try something unexpected. Learn a new language. Join a local improv class. Or cook a dish from a culture you've never experienced. Challenge your comfort zone. Talk to new people. Attend events outside your usual interests. Embrace different perspectives. The more you step into the unknown, the more you realize that rejection was never about losing, it was about making space for something greater. 9. Build real value instead of seeking validation. Imagine this. You're in a room full of people, and no one pays attention to you. Do you shrink or do you rise? Many waste time chasing validation, seeking approval from people who don't even matter. But the real flex? Becoming so valuable that recognition becomes inevitable. Instead of asking, "Why don't they notice me?" ask yourself, "What am I doing to make a real impact?" Greatness isn't about being seen, it's about becoming undeniable. Sharpen your skills. Learn. Master. Innovate. Create something that matters. Build a business. Start a passion project. Contribute to something bigger than yourself. Help others. Real influence doesn't come from attention, it comes from impact. The people who once ignored you, one day they'll see your name in places they never expected. But by then, you won't even care because your focus won't be on proving them wrong, but on proving yourself right. 10. Act like they don't exist and watch your power multiply. What's the best way to deal with people who reject, ignore, or underestimate you? You act as if they don't exist. Not in a petty way, but in a way that says, "Your absence doesn't affect my presence." Think about it. If someone doesn't acknowledge your value, why waste time trying to convince them? Your energy is sacred. Invest it in those who see, appreciate, and respect you. In a workplace, stay professional, but don't chase validation. Excel in your field until your results speak louder than their opinions. In social settings, stay cool, keep conversations brief, and move on. There's no need to force connections that were never meant to be. In relationships, if someone chooses to leave, let them. People who truly belong in your life won't need to be begged to stay. By shifting your energy away from those who don't value you, you create space for the ones who do. And that, my friend, is when the real magic happens. When you stop chasing, you start attracting. Remember, every rejection is an opportunity to strengthen your patience, self-worth, and adaptability. Turn the no you receive into stepping stones that lead you to a better version of yourself. Are you ready to embrace this challenge?
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.